So, here's the pitch. Aliens Fridge is a roguelike 2D platformer with card crafting mechanics, where you play as a bow scout who, along with your friends, gets kidnapped by aliens. Your mission? Survive, gather resources, craft some handy items, and try to find your friend, if you can, to escape the aliens fridge, or maybe you will just save yourself. Who knows? For those new here, I'm Baptiste, the developer of Aliens Fridge. In this devlog, we are diving into procedural map generation and player abilities. I'm working alongside Brian, the artist, and he's been putting together some really awesome scene dressing prototypes that I'll show off at the end. Let's jump right in. Procedural maps are a must-have for roguelikes. Without them, the game could get repetitive and, let's face it, boring. Initially, we thought of making everything fully procedural, but it turns out that purely procedural rooms lacked that human touch, making things less fun. So we decided to use a different approach: pre-built rooms. We assembled these rooms during runtime, and I had a bit of randomness by cutting doors and rotating rooms to keep things fresh. Not every room works in every orientation, but when it does, why not go for that free variation, right? The map is built in multiple levels, each with a randomly chosen direction, left or right. Extra rooms might appear above or opposite to the flow to add some unpredictability. But the main path always flows in a way that ensures the player doesn't get stuck. No one wants to be trapped in a random room forever, especially when there are spiders and snakes around. Now about adding some visual flair. Brian initially considered using tiles for easy reshaping, but they just didn't achieve the visual style we wanted. Then we tried using splines, with me working on a cut tool to split the splines for doors, but that didn't quite cut it. Finally, Brian suggested we use 3 pre-made corridors for each side, allowing us to fine-tune connections for more artistic freedom. It turned out to be the best choice, letting us to go wide with level shapes. Each side has 3 doors, but only one opens, chosen randomly, and some rooms have fewer doors to keep things flexible for artistic reasons. So we can get creative without being boxed in. Player abilities. We've made some changes here. We scrapped the cards of tens and hundreds because, honestly, it wasn't fun. Instead, we added a backpack where you can store some cards, plus now we have 4 ability slots alongside the 4 item slots. So, what abilities are we working with? Ground and air dashes. The air dash will be a crafted upgrade to the ground dash, naturally. I should probably add a cooldown. Triple and quadruple jumps. Double jump is default. But who wouldn't want more airtime? The longer you hold the jump button, the higher you go. Plus, I added some forgiveness time. So if you press jump just after falling off a platform, it still works. Hook and long hook, not default anymore. The long hook just gives you more range. Jetpack and teleport, because why not? I just make sure you can't teleport out of bounds. Checkpoint shard. You can drop a shard and teleport back to it when reactivating the ability. Super handy. Just make sure you're not followed by some monster while doing it. Slow time and invisibility. Slow time looks cool, and invisibility really messes with enemy AI. A lot of fun to experiment with. Web walker and web slider. Web walker stops you from getting slowed by spider webs. Web sliders lets you dash on the webs, making the spiders your new allies. Just make sure there's no spider hanging out when you do. So, what next? We have a long list of items and upgrades to add, and we want to experiment with combining them in as many ways as possible. Who knows what wild combinations we'll end up with. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you liked this devlog, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates on Aliens Fridge. As always, let me know your thoughts or any crazy ideas you have for the game in the comments. We'd love to hear them. See you in the next one. Have an awesome day.